Hello, everyone, and welcome to another talk. So we're going to work on rhythm a little bit, and there's a really kind of cool book out there, which I don't think is in print anymore, but it's called Factorial Rhythms, and I've talked about it a bit on this channel. So we're going to talk about that, just make sure that everything is silenced here, and I'm also going to try to include this as a podcast. So let me start in by maybe just playing a little bit. It's kind of a work in progress, working with all this backing tracks and stuff. So see how things go, but work with things that. But I'll just play us on a little bit, and maybe I'll grab a couple of these rhythms as I go, just kind of slowly going through Solar here. So just a little bit of playing to get us kind of started. I glanced over at some of these rhythms that we're going to talk about and played those for a couple of measures. But that's kind of the cool thing that you can do as an exercise, is to take some of these rhythms and apply them to your single line solos. And that, that's one thing I've found in my own practice, and then also just helping other folks with their practice sessions, and this particular episode is based on practice ideas and concepts. So try to create a limitation in order to broaden what one is capable of. So and that helps you just really maybe isolate a few things that you can work towards. So create a limitation with rhythm. We say, okay, we have to abide by a rhythm, and then we can assign the notes that we choose to assign. So let's begin here with just kind of talking a little bit about maybe some alternate picking ideas. And so in a previous talk, I had written out some ideas as well. So let's kind of begin with that. So let's say we have this rhythm up here, which is, let's say I'll take a C and I'll say down, down, up, down, up, down. And then I've got some accents notated there too, but let's not worry about those. But the main thing when you're doing rhythms, just to give some foundation, is to do alternate picking as a foundational sort of exercise when we're playing. All right, so so let's say we isolate that one rhythm there and just kind of work with that. So see if I can kind of zero in on that particular rhythm there. And then let's see if we can kind of work that in. So let's say we're playing. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so that gives us something to kind of work with. So let's see. Let's give an example of what you might do on a tune like Solar, and just kind of play over those changes a bit. And let's take it kind of slow, maybe even slower than we did. I took it pretty slow there earlier. Okay, here we go. So. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so for the most part there, I really stayed with the rhythm. Sometimes I might have shortened it a little bit or may have added another note afterwards. So, but for the most part, work with that, and then I sort of space them out for the most part into different segments. So here I'll try to get a little more of a running thing going, or an ongoing sort of loop, and I might do some omissions, or might add some things, but should mainly be that rhythm there. Let's do that again here. Okay, so one thing I did there was I moved it around. I started playing it on, let's say, beat 3. Again, like I said earlier, maybe do some omissions, but try to keep it as the basis for things, and it can really kind of help you to also think about the changes in a sort of a different way, because you're saying, okay, I've got to make sure I work this rhythm in, kind of change it up. Okay, so let's see if we can try another rhythm here. All right, so this one, you have down, down, up, up. Okay, so let's see how that might work in here. So it's good. Also, one thing I'm trying to do a little bit as well is try to have fun with it, be a little bit loose with things at times. So just make it a creative sort of project. So a couple times I just sort of left the rhythm and then came back to it. So you want to maybe, or at least I have found that I try to create a balance between what I'm interested in and also what I'm trying to discipline myself to do. So I'm trying to create that balance, because so I find that if I'm practicing something and I get too strict about adhering to a certain thing, then I might lose interest. So taking something like that and working out a little bit, but then trying to find a little bit of room for some creative process. Now we are being pretty creative with the notes that we're finding, but we are kind of restricted a little bit by the chord changes for the tune Solar. So that's another little aspect. So let's see. Let's stick with kind of these 3 rhythms. Why not? I've already kind of notated those. So let's try a little bit more here. So again, working on those things. So one thing that really could benefit someone who's going to practice this is to create some sequence, and it gives something for the listener to hold on to a little bit, and to try out on their own. So or well, not try out on their own so much, but to just kind of have something. Oh, okay, I heard that. That's a repeated thing. So repetition, I think, gives the listener a little bit of something to grab onto, and to maybe hear something come back later. So you do a rhythm, right, and then come back to it a little bit later, and play around with it. So I'm gonna play a little bit more. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can mix in those rhythms a little bit, just those three, and kind of alternate between those, and maybe I'll pick up the tempo a bit, and go from there. So one thing that's kind of fun is taking some of these rhythms and working on some kind of edgy, kind of outside-ish sort of things on it. So that's a certain thing, sometimes when I maybe play a certain different context, I might not explore some things, some things I might be kind of personally interested in, that I think certain audiences might find just sounds maybe too edgy. So and that's sort of an interesting topic, another topic for another time. But the idea of kind of playing and maybe getting outside a little bit, and I think these rhythms gonna give you something to hold on to, so it can maybe give the ability to stretch out a little bit, try some different things. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to conclude our talk for today. But I'll be with new talk here, so hopefully soon. And I will see you all in the next one.